Hey guys, this week on Between Two Erics, we've got a bunch of great content on exit planning, so please stay tuned. If not, Nico is going to get you. He's vicious.
All right, hey, welcome to the latest edition of Between Two Erics. Good to see you again.
Good to see you.
Where the F have you been?
A wedding in Michigan.
Oh, sure. All right.
Yeah.
How was
I am
it?
a dancing machine.
Oh, my God.
That's not true.
All right. So this is where we take interesting topics when it comes to money and how it relates to you as a practice owner. My name is Eric Miller, Chief Advisor and the Pablo Escobar of personal finance.
I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but
It's true.
you're the best at something.
And who are you?
I'm just a dude, a dancing dude.
Just a dude. All right. So look, we're going to talk today about a topic that is always like the end of the year, we see businesses selling.
Yes.
Right? So right now we're having just a tidal wave of business owners that are selling their practice right now.
Yep.
Okay.
At the end of the year.
At the
Everyone
end of the
wants
year,
to close.
everybody wants to close. So we're going to give you guys some do's and don'ts and some things to think about when it comes to this, because this is we could spend like a whole week
Easy.
talking about like exit planning and how to do it and those kinds of things and then some of the problems that we have. I think that the first thing is, though, most of these guys don't have a plan of how they're going to exit out of their business.
No.
And they're just they just get an offer and they're like, oh my God, it's more money I've ever seen before.
Yep.
But there's like a lot of things that you probably should think about. So we're just going to go through, I think, four things that we think
Yep.
are really, really important. And I know it's going to help you. So what would number one be?
Number one would be planning where you're going to invest the money. Once you get a big sum of money, your banker, your life insurance agent, your CPA, your brother, everybody is going to have investment opportunities for you. And if you haven't thought it out beforehand, you're probably going to get pressured into investing in something that's not the best. We see it all the time. I can tell story after story of people who have just made very poor investment decisions because they got a big sum of money and they just didn't have a plan, so they just picked whatever sounded best.
Two things happen. You either sit on the money and don't do anything, and it just
Yep.
sits in an account earning nothing, right? Or, worse yet, you go get yourself in investments that you really don't understand.
Yep.
You think you do. You end up getting over leveraged in some cases, and really bad things can happen. So I think from our standpoint, you should know where your money is going to be allocated. They should be in things that produce income.
Yep.
You should take into consideration the asset protection of that money. You should obviously take into consideration the tax of that money.
Absolutely.
But you really should know before that buyer sends you that money, you should know exactly where that money is going to be channeled to. So the moment it hits your account, it's going here, 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 and here, and I can get on with my life.
Yep. Perfect.
Brilliant response.
Perfectly
Gersh.
worded.
Brilliant response.
I can't add to that.
Okay.
It's true.
Okay, number two, overpaying in taxes. Okay, so we all know that for the vast majority of people that are selling their business, they're probably going to be taxed at capital gains rates, right?
Plus state.
Plus state. So
Yep.
so we just had someone in New Jersey, right, that's looking to sell their practice, and it's
Yep.
like, what's that? That's like almost like
30%.
Yeah, it's like
Close.
another
Yeah.
7 or 8% on top of the capital gains tax. So you have to know what that number is. It's a big number.
Yeah.
So there are methods in which you can mitigate the capital gains tax or defer it or somehow, some way do something. There are definitely strategies out there. We don't want to get into the details of those, but are these strategies going to be well known to most people?
Probably not.
No.
No.
So when you bring them up to accountants and insurance agents and other people, what's the likelihood that they're going to know these things?
Very, very little.
Okay. So, and what does that end up doing then?
It just adds confusion.
Yes.
And, yeah.
So again, why you need to make sure prior to selling you have a team, you have a tax person, you have a financial advisor, you have an attorney, right? And all these people need to be coordinated and know right? So
Yep.
that we have a team that's working together. You don't need 75 people to make a freaking decision on
No.
something, right?
Too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yes, it's going to end up just driving you crazy, and it's going to end up driving everybody else crazy too. Have a team that you trust, okay? I think that's really key. But overpaying in taxes is definitely a big thing. And look, you guys have never sold a business before. Most of these people have never sold a business before. So, you're gonna need some help.
Yeah.
Definitely. Okay, what's number 3?
Third thing would be under negotiating the deal.
Under negotiating the deal.
Yep.
I think you have a good story about this, don't you?
I do.
Okay,
I do.
let's hear it. Under negotiating your deal. Okay. Tell your story.
So I had a client. I'm gonna leave it very vague, of course, but I had a client who was having a very, very, very strong 2020, and his deal was based on the preceding years, 2019 and 2018 financials. So I took a look at the number and just simply enough said, I think you can get more. Just go back and ask him to include 2020 numbers. That simple. One request, one email. He got an extra $500,000.
$500,000.
That was it.
$500,000.
$500,000.
Just by calling them up and saying, I think the numbers warrant that, right?
Yeah.
And did everyone agree with that?
Yeah.
You know?
They gave it to him. No problem.
I mean, you got to ask, okay? I'll tell you when you stop asking for money is when they absolutely say, no, we're not giving you another penny more. And if you ask us again, we're going to close the deal.
Yep.
That's probably when you want to stop, right? But another $500,000 just by asking.
Yep.
That's incredible. That's incredible. So that was well done. Okay, last thing is, okay, so this one I see a lot because a lot of you are getting bought out by, or thinking about getting bought out by corporate groups. And a lot of these corporate deals are contingent upon you leaving a lot of equity or part of the sale in that corporate group. And then you roll it over, and then with the expectations that you're going to get this huge payday 5 or 6 or 7 years down the line, okay? Now, everyone's situation's a little bit different. I personally don't necessarily like when you keep any more than maybe 10 to 15% in those kinds of deals, because you just don't know. You lose all control at that point in time. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know, necessarily how well the industry is going to continue to do. And so your money's kind of wrapped up there. And again, I've seen it more often than not where the amount that you end up getting is a little disappointing compared to what you thought you were going to get.
I mean, think about how it's structured, right?
Yeah.
You package practices together. They think they're going to squeeze more money out of them and sell them to somebody else for 10, 15 multiple that's going to squeeze more money out of them and sell them to somebody else. Eventually, they've hit capacity.
Exactly. I mean, there's only so much this big money are going to pay
Yeah.
for these things, okay, as far as the multiples are concerned. So anyway, I'm just saying that, like, I think when you make the decision that you're done, try to get as much cash as you possibly can up front. I don't like leaving a lot of money on the table.
No.
Because again, you just don't know what's going to happen. Now, it's a case-by-case basis, but that'd be something that you definitely want to look at when you're negotiating your deal. So those are just some of the things that you got to think about when it comes to having an exit plan. But look, you need someone to help you, right? How many sales have we been through?
Oh, probably in the last 3 years, I'd say 30, 35.
Yeah.
That,
So
3 years.
yeah, and we're not brokers. We don't broker the
No.
sale, right? But we help guide people through to make sure that they're making good decisions. And they're looking at their finances, and they're looking at their debts, and which debts do I pay off? And then, of course, people are going to be like, okay, can I buy this big lake house?
Yup. Without fail.
But anyway, you do need someone there that's going to hold you accountable even after the sale as well, because your life's not over at that point in time.
No.
And you need to know where your income streams are, where they're coming from, how much they're going to be, so that you have plenty of money, even if you decide to stay on and work for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Simple stuff. All right. So, is there something we should tell these people right now?
Let's talk before you close, not after.
Yes. Call us before you close, and not like a week before. Okay.
2 months.
About 2 months. Yeah. Give us 2 months.
3 months.
And, even. That would be actually better.
That would be
do
best,
that.
but
And as always, make sure that you subscribe to our channel so we can get our subscriber numbers up, and up. And anything else?
No, that's it.
All right, that was good. All right, brother.
All right.
Glad you're back. All right, guys. Peace.